This course is about community engagement essentials, strategies for meaningful connections, and lasting impact. In this module, I'll be introducing you to what community engagement is. Now, let's look at the learning objectives. In this module, the learning objectives will be to understand the core concept and importance of community engagement, to recognize the historical development and evolution of community engagement practices, and lastly, to identify the key principles and values that guide successful community engagement. Let's look at the keywords in community engagement. Community engagement has two major keywords, which are community and engagement. Now let's look at community. Group of people with a common characteristics or interests that are living together within a larger society. While engagement means to become involved with. That means you have to become involved with a group of people that has common characteristics or interest before you can say what you are doing is community engagement. Now, in respect to social impact, it's beyond just becoming involved with a group of people. It's much more than that. Now, in respect with social impact, community engagement can be said to be the strategic process with the specific purpose of working together with identified groups of people, whether they are connected by geographic location or they have special interests or even affiliation in some way, to identify and address issues affecting their well-being. Now, this group of people could be stakeholders, they could be interest groups or citizen groups. And this community could be community of place, just like I've mentioned, geographic location, or community of practice. It could be group of medical doctors, group of social workers. They are also community. Or they could be a community of affiliation. For example, a club, all right? Sporting club, musical club, those are community. So far, they are a group of people with special interest or affiliation. Now, community engagement seeks to better engage the community to achieve long-term and sustainable outcomes. Not only outcomes, also processes, decision-making, or implementation. So with community engagement, it helps to better engage the community to achieve a sustainable outcome or implementation. Now, the linking of community to engagement serves to broaden the scope. It shifts the focus from the individual to the collective. Now, it is not about just one person, but it's about group of people, which is collective. All right? Now, let's look at the benefits of community engagement. Let's look at the benefits of community engagement. We know that community engagement is like a powerful vehicle for bringing about environmental and behavioral changes that will improve the community. Now, the benefits of community engagement are many. All right, we have empowerment and ownership, which means you give members of a community a voice. You give them a voice in decisions that affect their lives. You empower them, you give them that ownership. Community engagement fosters a sense of ownership, which leads to increased confidence and active participation in shaping their community's future. It also informed decision-making. Now, engaging the community ensures that the decisions and policies are well informed and reflect the needs and aspirations of those affected. Now, when people are informed, they will be able to they will be able to be involved in addressing the real issues within their community. It also enhances problem solving. Community engagement promotes creative problem solving. People come with different viewpoints that are contributing to understanding the issues, and it also brings about innovative solutions. When you involve group of people coming together to brainstorm, it leads to people contributing different viewpoints, and which could lead to development of innovative solutions. We have many of these benefits. We also have advocacy and civic participation. Advocacy and civic participation is another benefit of community engagement. Community engagement encourages citizens to advocate for their rights and needs. When people are involved, it helps them to it helps them to get involved. It helps them to get involved. It encourages them to advocate for their rights and their needs. When people learn how to get involved with whatever is happening in their community, especially civic participation, because it strengthens democracy and promotes social justice. So that is another benefit of community engagement. Another great benefit is that it reduces conflict and misunderstandings. So community engagement allows for open dialogue and mutual understanding. It helps to prevent conflicts by addressing concerns before they escalate. We have so many communities with pending issues, but when organizations or governments allow people to come together, give people that platform, it leads to people hearing their voices, and could lead to reduced conflicts and misunderstanding. It also enhances collaboration. Many times people misunderstand community engagement with community development and public relations, because these three words, they look the meanings look somewhat similar, and it is easy for people to mix them up. So let's look at the differences between community engagement and community development, as well as public relations. Now, let's look at community engagement, community development, and public relations. Now, community engagement involves creating meaningful interactions and collaborations between individuals, groups, organizations, and institutions within a community. Whereas community development aims at improving the well-being. Now, if you look at community engagement, you would see that we have the keywords: interactions, collaborations between individuals, groups, organizations, and institutions. Whereas community development is looking at the well-being of the entire community, quality of life. So most of the times, the end goal of each of these are kind of so different, because the community engagement is aims towards building trust, ensuring that the community's voice is heard in decision making. Whereas community development is all about the overall community health and vitality. Now, public relations is just about managing reputation and image of an organization through strategic communications with public stakeholders, with the public population stakeholders, and the media. Now, let's think about community engagement as an ongoing conversation where community members and organizations collaborate to make decisions that impact everyone. So we can say community engagement is like a town hall meeting where you listen to each other's ideas concerns, and opinions to find common ground and work together. Whereas community development is like building a strong foundation for a house. It's like making the community a better place to live. So community development looks towards the overall affairs of the community, whereas engagement is looking at creating meaningful interaction. So that is the difference. All right, whereby public relation is just like a company that wants to make sure that people know about the good work they are doing. So it's just like crafting the company's story and sharing it with the public. Even though the three works towards letting the community get involved with whatever they are doing. For example, public relation also aims at getting the community to know about what they are doing. Whereas community development also works towards making sure the overall affairs of the community is attended to. But community engagement, like I've mentioned, involves creating meaningful interactions and collaborations so that people will be encouraged to participate and make their voice heard in decision-making processes. So those are the differences. So community engagement has a different dimension. Like it depends on the area of impact, the areas you want to go to. So for example, if you want to focus your community engagement action on building connections or fostering a sense of community, that means you are coming into the social aspect, which is the social dimension. If you are focusing on economic development, livelihoods, financial well-being, that means you are coming from the economic angle, which is the economic dimension. If it is the political dimension, that means you would be coming from the angle of making people to get involved in the decision-making process. For example, the program, the EP election campaign program, that is the European Parliament election campaign program that you are getting trained for. The community engagement aspect is the political dimension. You are coming from the political angle. You want people to, you want to encourage people to participate in decision-making processes. You want people to advocate for policy changes, and also you want to influence governance. So if you are coming from the angle of environment, you have to, that means your work will center on sustainability, conservation, ecological well-being. So we have many angles, many perspectives to community engagement. That is why community engagement is said to be multidimensional in nature. So these are the multi-dimensional nature of engagements. You could either focus on social dimension, you could decide to focus on economic dimension, it could be cultural dimension, which is focusing on preserving and celebrating cultural heritage, values, and traditions. Having said that, we need to also look at the forms of community engagement. Now, let's look at the multidimensional nature, which is the dimension as the what of community. What aspects of community engagement do you want to focus on? And the forms as how. So the forms is like the how, while the dimension is like the what. Now let's look at the how of community engagement, which are the forms of community engagement. If you are coming from the social dimension angle, but the aim of the community engagement you want to embark on is to inform, maybe to provide information to the community without necessarily seeking their input. That means you are informing. So you could be focusing on social dimension of community engagement, and the form or the how will be to inform the community, depending on the goals and objectives of the community engagement you're embarking on. We also have consulting. Consultation involves gathering community feedback and opinions. So if the aim of your community engagement project or initiative is to gather feedback from the community, that means you are consulting. Now, it could be for the environment. So that means for the environmental dimension, if you want to gather feedbacks from the community, what you are doing is consulting. Consulting on the environmental dimension of community engagement. So we also have involving. So if you want to involve the community, it goes beyond just seeking opinions. All right, consulting means you are getting opinions from the community. But when you are involving them, it goes beyond just consulting. That means you will engage the people of the community actively in collaborative discussions and decision-making processes. We also have collaborating. Now, collaborating goes beyond just the members of the community. It is holistic. It is holistic because it brings together different stakeholders. It could be organizations, it could be community members, it could be government agencies to jointly develop solutions and strategies. So that is collaborating. So looking at the kind of community engagement initiative you may want to do at the end of this training, it could be collaborating because you'll be working with diaspora votes and people in the community you are engaging, as well as involving some government agencies. And by doing this together, you'll be able to bring out solutions and strategies to address whatever issue the community is facing as regards to the political dimension of community engagement. Okay, so apart from that, we also have empowering, we have partnerships and alliances, we have online and digital engagement, we also have grassroots organizing. So the program for the EP campaign election could be to organize community engagement events at national level. But if you are taking it down to the local level, that means you are coming to the grassroots. You are coming to the grassroots and you are involving community members to initiate. If you are coming to the grassroots, that means some of the community members will also be at the forefront. They will be at the forefront. It will not be just you leading or initiating things, but you will also recruit some members of the community to initiate and lead change. That is grassroots form of community engagement. Okay, so we also have civic engagements and political participation. Now, this also looks similar to the political dimension. So this could, apart from the collaborative, this could also be the form of community engagement you may want to look into when you are trying to carry out your community engagement initiative or your events at the national level. So we have the participatory action research. This is a form of community engagement that engages community members in conducting research on issues that directly affect them. Now, here, you would allow the community engagement to lead the community members, rather, to lead on the issues that affect them directly. They will be the one to conduct research. Maybe your own role is just to skill them up to enable them to have that skills, that knowledge on how to conduct research on issues that directly affect them. Just like giving them the ownership of whatever initiative you want to do in that community. So getting them involved. So that is that about the forms of community engagement. So we have informing, we have consulting, we have involving, we have collaborating, we have empowering, we have partnerships and alliances, we have online and digital engagement, we have grassroots organizing, we have participatory action research, we have civic engagement and political participation, we have asset-based community development. It is also an approach which focuses on identifying and leveraging existing community assets, skills, and resources to drive positive change. Now, this form of engagement expects you to go and take account of the assets that is present in this community you want to engage, and leverage on those assets to carry out whatever initiative you want to carry out in that community. Now, this form of community engagement leverage the strengths within a community rather than focusing on the deficits. So if you are going into a community to engage them, before you do anything, you may want to get an account of the skills and the resources they have and leverage on those skills to bring about impact in that community. It could be that in that community we have people that are good with public speaking. You could use that. You could involve those kind of people in your initiative. You could also look for other resources they have. It could be that they have physical assets that could also help. It could be town halls for town hall meetings. So that is what asset-based community development entails.